You are now live.
Cool. So, hey everyone, I am Carrigan Desjardins and I am the CEO of Code Pink. Code Pink is a subscription box company for feminine hygiene products. So, we ship them across Canada and the women get to pick what they want in their box. So, as I mentioned before, any questions that I don't answer in this Periscope video session, you can email me at codepink.hfx@gmail.com and I would be more than happy to email you back later. I also work full-time at the Sobey School of Business Development Center here in Halifax, and I'm a project manager for Youth Employability Program. So part of that is I help small and medium-sized businesses here in Atlantic Canada. So I do have some experience, although I have an arts degree. I do have some business background. So I just wanted to start off by saying that I did do a little bit of research because I know this is across Canada, and every province is pretty similar in how they go about registering their business. I'm going to base it off of my experience here in Nova Scotia. So if you do have any questions provincially specific, visit your local government website, and all you have to do is Google registering your business in Ontario or Alberta or BC or whatever beautiful province you live in here in Canada. So first thing first, Google the name you want to use because companies may already exist with that name. We Googled Code Pink, and it's actually a not-for-profit organization that has really nothing to do with what we're doing, but there is a similar name out there, and so we had to decide whether or not we wanted to stick with Code Pink or pivot and make it a little bit different. So first thing first, Google yourself. If a company name already exists and it's quite similar, my suggestion, try to find something else. If it's not similar at all and it's based out of the US or overseas or somewhere else, then absolutely check to see if you can register that name. My second piece of advice in that is on your provincial government website where you register your name, you have to search the joint stock and registry list. So search that first before you start filling out forms and have to pay. It'll come up right away if that name is being used, but what it'll do in Nova Scotia anyway is show what names are similar to yours. And so we had about 9 pages of similar names to Code Pink, whether it was using code or pink, or Code Pink in a sentence. You know, we had to check that stuff out. So I would suggest doing that before you start investing a lot of money into this process. So I took notes, so I'm going to be looking over at my notebook as we go through this. But when we first started registering our business name, it took us 3 tries, and that was a lot of money. It costs about $60 roughly to reserve your name. So that's your first step, is reserving your name. It took us 3 tries to reserve our name, and the problem was we weren't specific enough. So you have to meet certain criteria set out. It has to be descriptive. It needs to have an element of what it is. And it, yeah, I didn't write down what the 3 things are. This is my bad, and now we're live, so everyone makes these mistakes. But yeah, ours wasn't descriptive enough. So at first, when we just registered or reserved our business name, we just had Code Pink. What they were looking for was something descriptive. So we had to eventually put Code Pink subscription box, and that is our full business name. However, we will only be using, for marketing purposes, Code Pink. So make sure you have all of the right descriptive factors. I know one of them was like ABC Electrical Halifax, and that meant that the company name was ABC, their service was electrical, and their business was in Halifax. And so those were the 3 factors that that went into reserving your business name. So reserving your name is step 1. With each province, you can do all of this stuff online. It does take about 3 business days to process the reservation name. You can go back in to see what the status is, and I think I checked mine every 5 minutes because I was so excited to see where we were at. It does cost roughly $60. It could be different depending on which province you register in, but it does cost roughly $60, and the whole process should cost you roughly $130 from reserving your business name to registering your business name. After that, after we reserved our business name, they sent us a letter in the mail that says, congratulations, you've reserved your business name. The next step is to register with joint stock. So we did that. First, we tried to do that through fax. So they sent us some forms. We filled it out. I am with two other partners. So I had to make sure that we had their signatures and all of their information. If you're doing sole proprietor, it could be different, but partnership, you needed everyone's signatures. And I do believe sole proprietor, it's the same form. So you just need to get your signature and make sure that you filled out the paperwork accurately. Our mistake was we just faxed it off and we thought that was okay and they were going to contact us for payment later. But what we actually had to do was fax it off and then submit payment online, and I didn't know that. So I hadn't heard anything back from the Nova Scotia Service Centre. So we actually just went down the street from where I live, and I filled out the paperwork beforehand. I passed it in. She did everything literally in front of me to register our business name. And I paid another roughly $60, $68 it might have been. And she registered the business name right there in front of me. And so then from there, I got our certificate saying, congratulations, you're a business. It was literally the most exciting thing in the world that I've ever experienced thus far. I've done some pretty cool things, but I think this was definitely a validation that this was real and we owned a business and we were moving forward. If you do it online, you have to fax it off and then pay online. I do think that's a little bit more confusing. Any questions that I had, I was able to ask the girl right there what the next steps were moving forward, and the people were really helpful and really lovely to deal with. So literally it took me a week from reserving my business name to registering my business name. Doing it online, registering your business name online does take a couple of extra days. If you just go down to see them at your local service center, they'll be able to process it for you right there. And I'm pretty sure you can probably reserve your business name in front of them as well. I didn't do that step, but you can definitely call and ask them. I just wanted to provide a few tips, things that we had to think about along the way. Make sure that you really, really like your name, because once it's final and you've paid for it, it's final. And it actually costs you more money to change your name. Should you decide once you're registered, I really don't like Code Pink. This is something that we had talked about on multiple occasions, was do we actually like this name? We threw around some different names and we were like, no, this doesn't work. We got validation from our customers as well of what do you think about this name? And we threw a couple of options in there to see what they thought of the different names. So when you're doing customer discovery, a tip of mine would be to throw your business name in there, see if they like it, see if it sticks. If there's any feedback that people can provide for you, actually take it. So if you do decide to change your business name, you have to start again, which is another expense that you don't want to do. And trust me, once I blundered all of this 3 times, that was a lot of money. My business partners were definitely not happy that I had made decisions without them. So if you are in a partnership, consult with everybody. That works. The whole process should take roughly a week. Shouldn't take that long and should cost no more than $130. Now, I say this because in Nova Scotia, that's how much it cost me. I'm pretty sure that, pretty confident to say that it should be roughly the same provincial-wide. One thing that we didn't do, that my business partners and I at Code Pink, one thing that we didn't do that I wish we had done sooner was we didn't register our business name right away. We didn't even reserve it right away. So if you're thinking about it, if you have a business name you want to do, reserve it right now. That way, when you get ready to launch, like what we did, and we didn't have a name, we literally scrambled and we were far more stressed than need be. I was, I guess I should say, because I'm a stressful person, but I was far more stressed than I should have been, because we waited until the last minute. We were ready to launch and we couldn't even launch because we didn't have a registered business name or we didn't have a business certificate. So yeah. And my final piece of advice is call the 1-800 number or call the local number that the government provides to you on the website. We did. I asked a lot of questions. I definitely wrote down the questions I wanted answered. That's how I found out about the whole process. Yeah, pardon me. We asked a lot of questions after our third attempt. I wish I had done it sooner, but after our third attempt, we called and said like what's going on, and we didn't know that there had to be descriptive elements and parts of the name that they needed in order to approve it. You'll definitely get exactly the answers you need. I mean, that's their job. Their job is there to provide you with any answers that you may need, and they're definitely really helpful, and they're always friendly. So that's my final piece of advice. I know that this was really quick, but it's not hard at all to register your business name, and even to reserve your name. If anyone has any questions, absolutely codepink.hfx@gmail.com. You can email me at all, and we do have a question right now, so Kels, I'll get you to give it away.
Yeah, so we had one user who just wanted to know a little bit more about Code Pink and how much you sell your boxes for.
Yeah, sure. So Code Pink is a subscription box company for feminine hygiene products. So we sell feminine hygiene products plus some luxurious items to help your week feel a little bit better. The boxes are going to be roughly $40 per month. That includes shipping. We do have a 6-month subscription, for just over $200, and that doesn't include shipping. Our website is, we had to make some modifications to it. So Cratejoy, if anyone's using Cratejoy for subscription box, not the easiest thing to use. You need to get a coder if you're trying to do some pretty specific stuff, you need to hire an outside coder. So we didn't know that, and we've actually had to go ahead and do that. Our website should be live in a couple of days, codepink.co. And we hope that everyone likes it, and if there's any feedback, definitely give us an email for sure.
Great.
And I hope that answers your question.
Awesome.
Cool.
Thank you.
Thanks everyone. I really appreciate it. I hope you have a good day. Again, email me should you have any further questions.